Runners parading for the third race on the card here, a 5 furlong handicap class 6. That's the Defiant in the red hood in shot. Number 1, the top weight. Not been in bad form recently, Rachel.
No, he hasn't. He finished second, beaten in a nose bob last time out at Lingfield over the 5 furlongs. Was drawn wide, a bit unlucky, and literally just missed at the line. I think a repeat of that form sees his head in front tonight.
Okay, interesting stuff. Behind number 1 is the grey number 6, and that is Hattie C, a daughter of Herat.
You have Gary Halpin aboard, Ron Harris, known for training sprinters.
I do apologise, that's number 8, actually.
Okay. We'll go back
Lil
to
Wen Fak. So sorry about that. Alicia Whitted in the saddle for Richard Price.
A lifetime 1 for 31. That win was in a 2-year-old novice one with David Evans at Chepstow over 5 furlongs. It's been 25 runs since. It's going to take a little bit to break that streak tonight.
Okay, we'll talk about number 6 shortly, but behind her is number 2, Hasif, a son of Dark Angel.
0 for 9 maiden for Ed Walker. This is the lowest grade this horse is running, and that might see a little bit of a resurgence. First try over 5 furlongs too, so potentially might have to gun it from the gate, but there's some proper speed balls in here, so if he doesn't have the early oomph, he's going to be well behind.
Yeah, this is going to be fast and furious, isn't it? Let's drop all the way back to number 3 if we can, to Q20Boy. Isabel Francis claiming £7 for Mark Usher.
One of the most informed horses in the contest. Won 3 starts ago, finished second 2 starts ago in a much hotter race than this, an only start here at Salisbury. So if he can handle the course again and the firm going, I think he's another one for the short list.
He's my idea of the winner, I have to say. I thought that was a good run too at Fosslas last time out. Behind him is number 9. That is Thank the Lord for Theodore Ladd and Simon Hodgson.
Nice looking chestnut, Thank the Lord. A son of Coach House, one of the 3-year-olds in the contest. It's a half-brother to Delegate This Lord, who we'll see later on in the card for Mrs. Taverson in those very famous colours. First time visor on today. That needs to spark some semblance of a resurgence.
Behind him, number 7, that's Eastern Delight, daughter of Camacho for William Cox and Christopher Mason.
0 for 12 maiden, this 4-year-old daughter of Camacho, but is a half to Just Glamorous Spirit, etc. So if she can emulate her brothers one of these days, she's going to be a fast 5 furlong sprinter.
I was about to say, there's a lot of speed in that family.
There's a lot of speed, and she's sporting for the second time today the hood cheek piece combo.
Okay, behind number 7, number 5 we drop, and that's We're Reunited. A winner last time.
At Bath on good to firm ground. So one of the ones with less question marks with this surface today than some. You said one last time out in a classified race, was well in the classified. The great thing was less keen early on in the contest. And we want to watch the paddock behavior. He's sort of got his head down. He's whatever it means to you when you say the phrase, he's on the muscle. He looks well and ready to go. But for a 5 furlong sprinter, he's not showing any worrying behaviour as of such.
Okay, let's drop back to number 4. Just caught up with Callum Shepherd, who rode the winner of our second race aboard Castle City, and he definitely gave Minhaj some semblance of a chance, and there's first time headgear today too.
Yes, switching the cheek pieces for the first time. Visor. It's been 17 runs since her last win, but both of her wins have been over 5 on good to firm ground. So another one who potentially has less question marks on the surface today.
We've got them all apart from Hattie C. So if we can, drop back to number 6, which is just a few behind. And that's the last one we're going to look at in the parade ring. And just like We're Reunited, was a winner last time.
Yes, and not just a winner, a 9.5 length winner. Demolition job, and reeled in the loose leader and just ran on. The handicapper not impressed. Handicap mark wasn't changed. The one thing we're going to watch with her as we see Gary Halpin get aboard, she was really unruly last time before going to win. She's sort of on her toes, jig-jogging a bit, but we just want to watch her as they head down to the start, because she's going to be a potential worry horse.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on her. But that's it for the runners in the parade ring. They're all going down to post now, apart from number 9, Thank the Lord, but no doubt he will be mounted very shortly as well. Indeed, Angus, looking to give Callum Shepherd a quick double on the night. Now, Rachel, I've been really immersed in the World Athletics Championships over the last week or so. Loving the 100 metres and 200 metres, seen some amazingly fast performances, and I think we're going to get something akin to that in this race over this flying 5 furlongs.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of speed signed on. The Defiant were reunited. Hattie C. Also, Minhaj has shown a bit of early pace. The one thing that the favourite Q20Boy doesn't have, early pace, gate speed, out of the blocks is a no-no.
No.
Whatever cliche you want to use. He is a proper hold-up horse. Don't bother watching the race. Just watch for the line, because that's the only time you're going to see him in the contest. But the setup of the race suggests that that might actually play into his favour tonight.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Because, as you say, there are a few who like to force the pace here. Let's talk about the Defiant, because the worry for me is he's not got a huge amount of form on turf yet.
No, he really doesn't. But 2 of his wins have come on turf, and they've been on good to firm. The one last time out was at Lingfield over 5 furlongs, was drawn 7 of 8, and you know the 5 furlong start at Lingfield is in that little bit of a chute drawn wide, and you're going to be 3 or 4 wide going down. You're going to be 3 or 4 wide, as it looks like the vet's going to have a look at Eastern Delight down at the start.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated as to what's happening. Oh, he's been withdrawn, we're hearing.
Okay.
So, number 7 looks to be out of the race. That is Eastern Delight, daughter of Camacho. Unlikely then to take her chance. She's been withdrawn. That's a bit of a shame, isn't it?
It is, but it still leaves us with the dead 8. So
True.
we still have, this is the only race we got three-way place betting. So we still have that.
Every cloud.
Hopefully she's going to be okay. Hopefully she just snicked herself or got a little kick down at the start. But on veterinary advice, quite rightly, she's been withdrawn once she's got down there.
Not often you see, sorry to interrupt you, not often you see horses win races by nearly 10 lengths, and the assessor thinks to themselves, oh, actually, you know what? We're going to leave that. Not going to bother putting that one up. But that's the case with Hattie C.
Yeah, I mean, also to put it in context, it was a terrible maiden at Brighton with 4 runners. So sometimes weird stuff does happen. That race was weird because the eventual second Schwag opened up about a 6 or 7 length lead on the rest of the field, and then Hattie C just reeled in the loose leader, got to the front, and Jason Watson just, the great thing, won by 9.5 lengths, eased down at the line, but everybody just sort of stood up and we're going to stay in our positions. It's just a bit of a question of, yes, it was an impressive win, but what is that form worth? Because the handicapper says nothing. I mean, I guess he didn't drop it. He didn't drop her, so there's that. But it's one of those things where she, from me, I want to see her do it again. Not necessarily win by 9.5 lengths, but her previous form was, there was bits and bobs of it, including a neck second at Bath and a 2 3/4 length fourth at Chepstow on ground like this, not as firm, but with firm in the going. That would be interesting. She has to show it. She can do it again.
It can help their confidence, can't it, if you get that win on the board?
Oh, absolutely, because then it's sort of like, oh, this is what you want me to do. Yeah. Oh, I get it. Okay, and then go. But she's one that definitely has the do it one more time, and then we'll be behind you.
I spoke to Racing TV's George Baker at Newbury last time when Hasif ran. A pretty disappointing run, it has to be said, in the end, but he was confident that Hasif was going to run well that day. He thinks he's on a fair handicap mark. Well,
this is the lowest level that the Son of Dark Angel has ever run at. 0 to 65. Last one was a 0 to 70. Really wasn't any excuse, just weakened late on. The winners come out in 1 since at Nottingham. Can be slow away, which is not ideal over 5, but it's his first time over 5, so they really need to work out the gate issues for this horse, who's actually related full brother to Come From the Dark, trained by Ed Walker, who won the Coral Charge over 5 at Sandown a couple of years ago. So there is 5 furlongs in the pedigree. What he's shown on the track, to me, doesn't suggest this is his trip.
Just one to go in, I think. We're waiting for the Defiant to go in. And he's likely to be one of the pace angles in this contest. Likes to be up there, as do a couple of the others. That's number 5, We're Reunited, who was a winner last time out at Bath. Won on the same card the year before, so clearly likes it there. Hopefully he can reproduce it here as well. Here's Mark with the call.
And they're off. 5 furlongs ahead of them in the Three Lions Restaurant.co.uk handicap, and through the very early stages We're Reunited goes on together with Thank the Lord up against the inside rail. The Defiant is keen, racing out wide in third position. Hattie C is in fourth. Minhaj up against the inside rail in fifth place, and a length and a half in advance of Hassif, who in turn is 2 lengths in front of Q20Boy, and the back marker and outpaced is Lily Van Vach. They race through the halfway point, and it is Thank the Lord against the rail, with We're Reunited still the first two. The Defiant still travelling well on their outside in third, and now about to press for the lead. Driven in behind them is Hattie C together with a Seif towards the near side. Over on the far side is Minhaj, but with a furlong to go, the Defiant has come through to take the lead. It's the Defiant to Thank the Lord in second place, who's battled back and has reclaimed the advantage. It's Thank the Lord and Theo Ladd reasserting from a long way back is Q20Boy, but it is Thank the Lord who wins. Thank the Lord is the best of the sprinters this evening, with the staying on in second Q20Boy and in third the Defiant.
A pugnacious and rebarbative performance there from the winner, Thank the Lord, who was headed by the Defiant in the closing stages, but gets back up and ends a pretty poor run of form at 14-1 for Theodore Ladd and Simon Hodgson. And as is his wont, Q20Boy stayed on when it was just that little bit too late, but he grabbed second in the end, Rachel.
Yeah, I mean, a bit of a shock winner in a sense, but one of the 2 3-year-olds in the field. I know it's only 5 furlongs, but they do get a couple of pounds weight for age, 4 pounds overall. Last time out at Leicester, they changed his run style to be from hold up to front running. They used that tactic again today with the first-time visor. He broke alertly, which he hasn't been, definitely helped, and he was able to go to the front and hold on, even though he had the attentions of We're Reunited to his outside for a lot of it. I liked how once We're Reunited cried enough and the Defiant came up alongside, he was able just to pull out that little bit more. I mean, this horse he was literally carrying no weight on his back, but that's just because his handicap market is so low. But then again, Simon Hodgson, so good with these sort of horses, and the Lady Phil family, as we said, his half-brother Delegate This Lord, a really good sprinter in his own right, running later on in the card.
He seems a much happier performer today in that first-time headgear. It's clearly worked the oracle for him, because, as you say, he's been up there forcing the pace with Reunited, and despite being headed in the closing stages, has fought back. So I think there's plenty of room in his current mark. Now he's got that act together. Yeah,
he also has got a really nice daisy cutter action. He doesn't really round up his knees. He's sort of more scuttly on the ground, and ground like this is just going to suit him down to the ground, unlike some technically out the back. Lil One Fox, she hated every single second of this. On her form, she's not very good, but she was not letting herself down, kept switching her legs left and right. A couple of the other ones were doing so too. The eventual third, the Defiant, was not exactly handling the ground, and Q20Boy, as we saw flying late, well, like we said earlier, don't bother to watch the race. He'll just be sitting in there. He was actually a bit closer to the pace today than I actually thought that he was. He was sitting in the second rank as opposed to sort of anchor down at the back. But
he's the only one to finish him off the pace.
Yeah, but that's what he did. I mean, this race sort of held up for speed-wise, but I think a lot of this is just, thank the Lord, this sort of ground very much is going to play in his favour as opposed to some of the others.
And Hattie C pretty much back to the form that she was showing before her win last time, so it looks as though the handicapper has got that bang on.
Yeah, and actually I would say I take this as a positive from her. Yes, over-exaggerated winning margin last time out, but I did like this, that Gary Halpin, again, once sort of in his position, didn't knock the horse around, because it's one thing I absolutely hate, when you use the whip on a horse when it's 5th, 6th. I'm not one of these people, if a betting firm is paying down to 6th or 7th, I don't want to see jockeys absolutely, going hammer and tongs to get that 7th place just in case somebody's had a bet down to 7. I mean, for me, no. I mean, in the money, yeah, top 3, definitely, but when it's like mid-div places, just hands and heels, keep pushing, but there's no need to go further than that.
I agree. Just a quick word too on the Defiant, because he always tries his utmost, and he was bang there again. I just don't think this 5 furlong stiff finish is necessarily what he wants. Maybe a slightly easier track.
Yeah, maybe. How about a higher end handicap where he'd be off an absolute bottom weight next Tuesday at Glorious Goodwood? He's
nice.
entered. There's 26 in, maximum field's 20. Never know.
That. You've been doing your research. Excellent. Right, that is the winner. Thank the Lord, who's bounced back from a string of pretty poor performances to win with a first-time visor on.
Yeah, I think that visor's made the difference, hasn't it? It looked beaten and rallied and found a little bit more in the closing stages. It's a good effort, tough effort.